Well, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Deck to Sim live stream. Today it's the 21st of November 2019, Thursday evening here in the UK. And have a look at my new alpaca themed livery. A massive thanks to Paul, one of my members, for those who are new to my streams. As I mentioned last stream, there's a bit of an ongoing theme with alpacas on the channel due to the fact that the first time they ever saw a picture of me in Discord was with an alpaca because I went alpaca walking with my partner, and they so kindly made a livery with an alpaca either side of it. So yes, it's a limited edition version of the livery. If you would like a copy of it, do drop me a comment, and I might put it on my own Google Drive for you to download if you so wish to have it. Yes, so we are pretty much left off from our last live stream, which we did on, I think it was on Sunday, where we tried to get from Liverpool to Palma de Mallorca. It took us 45 minutes to get airborne. Then we got over there, and then it took us another. Well, we were told to hold for 45 minutes to an hour, so we diverted to Ibiza. We landed. We've been partying for the last 3 days in Ibiza. The passengers we told to swim to Palma de Mallorca, but we now need to position the aircraft over there. Now, it was a great opportunity actually to do that because I've wanted to do kind of like a positioning flight before, and also we're going to position the aircraft completely empty, so I can actually discuss with you how the aircraft handles a little bit differently when it's very light, especially on final approach and the landing technique, which it does slightly differ. It's the same technique, but you want to just check close hold a little bit later. But we'll see how we get on later on in Palma de Mallorca, nonetheless. Anyway, lots of the members are here this evening. I just saw a comment from Kuba, Alpaca Sword 01 maybe. Yeah, we could probably change the call sign slightly for this stream. But thanks to all the members here: Greg Scott, Anthony Teal, Brendan Rysek, Steve Kent's here as well, Fiddly Barfoot as well, Wojtek, see we are all the alpaca themed emojis or whatever they're called anyway. So right, so we are on VATSIM. It doesn't look like there's any ATC. It looks like a few people have joined in online as well. This scenery from Ibiza is from Pilot Plus. I've had a few issues with it because there seems to be kind of 2 rows of lights, of taxi lights. There seems to be 2 air bridges as well. I don't know why. I definitely don't have 2 versions of the scenery installed, but otherwise the scenery is pretty good. I think it was actually originally designed for X-Plane 10. Right, so let's jump into the flight deck. I've not done anything at all prior to the live stream. I've only just turned X-Plane 11 on and jumped into the ZIBO mod. So let's get the battery on and some ground power. But I did extend the air stairs. That's the only thing I did do, and open the door. Right, let's get the GPU connected. GPU's now, there we are, on the bus. Let's get some lighting on here as well. Looks like people are talking on VATSIM as well, on Unicom, which is pretty cool. So batteries on the GPUs now on the bus, electric hydraulic pumps on verify. We've got the 3 green lights up here and the 3 green lights up there. Down here, let's do the fire extinguisher squib bottle tests. New member coming in straight away, Kevin Stevenson with his silver bar epaulette. Welcome to the club and welcome to the channel as a member. I hope you enjoy the members only Discord and the members exclusive content which you can access via Discord. Welcome to the channel there. So there's the fire tests. We've got all the bells and lights illuminated accordingly. Emergency exit lights we can fasten on. Fuel, we will need a little bit of fuel. Actually, you know what, that might... No, we only got 2840, we'll definitely need some fuel. So we'll leave the fasten seatbelt sign off for this. Test the attend button. Igniter set to right. Flap indicator matches the flap position. And now we're going to do the cargo fire test down here. Making sure we have the discharge, no detector fault light illuminated. The bell sounding with the fire warning lights illuminated as well. I've actually had the time prior to this stream just starting. I've actually done the Boeing onboard performance tool performance and taken a screenshot. I've uploaded it into the iPad so we can actually have a look at the proper real Boeing onboard performance tool and use it for our takeoff performance calculation today, which will be pretty cool. Obviously it's night time, so we'll need some panel lighting turned up here. We'll check the rudder and aileron trim as well. The manual gear extension door is closed and locked. Circuit breakers are all closed. It's emergency escape rope. We make sure it's secure to the aircraft. Do the stall warning test. We need to wait a little bit longer for that. Test the normal light extinguishers. Mach airspeed warning test is done. Oh yeah, we don't actually... we're obviously in a desktop simulator. You don't really have to worry about it. But crew oxygen, we obviously check on the first flight the day. Generally, we dispatch at the operator I work for no less than 1100, but if you have less than that, we can check in the FCON one what the minimum requirements of crew oxygen are for the oxygen masks there. The reason I also wanted to mention that is because tomorrow, for the first time in well over a year, I'll be releasing a tutorial. I've completed a rapid depressurization emergency descent tutorial, which I'm going to release, I think, 6 o'clock tomorrow evening for you to enjoy at the weekend. So yeah, it's been quite good fun making it. Got the usual memes coming in, like I try and used to always do in my tutorials, so I hope you'll enjoy that. IRSs are set to nav, they're going to align in 7 minutes. Captain's emergency escape route we check, and the circuit breakers this side, and all that jazz is set. I just realised we're missing... Oh, we've only got ITC, fantastic. That's very good, so looks like someone's come on live for that. We've got a member, then actually got 2 members coming in, Alex Fuller and George Hawkins. Thank you very much for the membership as well. Welcome to the channel as members, and I hope you enjoy all the member exclusive content. And if you are using Discord, you'll have to wait for your automatic invite to Discord. It should happen every hour or so, but if you look online, type in Google, YouTube, Discord synchronization, and then it gives you some guidance about how you should get the invite there. Right, so let's start the flight leg. We'll get the pass. Oh no, hold on. Terminate flight leg, because we're actually simulating no passengers on board today. I've only set up the flight plan to have 6 passengers on board. The reason I put 6 is that's actually to allow for the crew. So 2 in the flight deck, the 4 cabin crew. I'll be perfectly honest, the 4 cabin crew are pretty hungover. Up front, obviously, we follow the rules accordingly. We haven't been drinking for over 48 hours, so we're completely fine. We've got a good coffee here as well, which should wake us up for this very short night flight. Joking aside, though, that's all very serious, but obviously a bit of fun here in the desktop simulator. Right, so we've done the safety inspection checklist. We can now do the Brunei flight inspection. Now it looks like we've got some ATC here, so I'm just going to check on here. We've got a tower frequency and we've got ATIS in Ibiza, so 119.8. Let's have a listen to box 2 for that. And you must excuse my Boeing onboard performance talk, because I didn't expect any ATC. It might be slightly different now to what the actual weather is here. So let's make a quick note of this. I'll grab a pen. Oh, I can't hear anything. Did I just write the correct frequency?
Good evening.
119.8. No idea why, but I can't hear the ATIS. Let me just try and box 1. It should work on box 2, but maybe hasn't updated it yet. No, there's no ATIS at the moment, unfortunately. So that's a bit of a shame. We'll go back to VHF 1. That's definitely... Can you hear the tower? Let me know in the chat if you can hear the tower, but it's all there, and I guess it continues to come online. It hasn't actually updated the weather yet, but that's still good. So that's all fun. We'll take the weather off the METAR then, if I can't hear it off the ATIS. Finley, thank you very much. You can hear the tower now, which is great. So let's just have a look at the METAR on my phone. Surface wind is 2208 knots, that hasn't changed. Few clouds at 1800 feet, 16 degrees, QNH is 1009, which is set there, and 1009, which is set there. Let's double check the MFR8, which I have already set here. There you go, look, takeoff. Minimum flat retraction altitude is 1,030 feet. And before you start asking in the channel, how do I get that? Unfortunately, you won't have access to that, because that is just a screenshot, basically, of the Boeing onboard performance tool, which I use at the operator I work for. It's a little iPad app. So that's the MFRA set 1030. We could select airports and stations off. We check the clock, turn up the panel lighting. There we are, main panel DU, lower DU switches all set as well. Right, so we can load the FMC now. So just before I do that, actually, we need to have a look at the flight plan, and I need to get the airport charts up as well. So there is Ibiza Airport. We're on stand 15 at the moment, so we'll go parking stands. It's a remote stand, we don't need any pushback here, so we'll just make a left turn taxi straight onto the taxiway there. And after parking stands, we're on airport, and then the SID, which we're going to be flying, which is a Lamper to Echo SID. So we'll go here back. I only just realised, which is quite cool, I was complaining the other day that my scroll wheel was reading really slow here when I was looking at certain things here, but you can now actually, I realise if you hold down the left mouse button and do this, you can scroll very quickly, which is quite cool. Yeah, the departure, sorry, is going to be a Lamper to Echo, which is just here. There we are. It's an RNAV SID, I believe. Yes, are nav signals. They all pretty much are nowadays. There we go. So that's all the charts selected, and now we need to get the flight plan up. So home, tab charts. So I do this, we should be able to switch all the documents. There we go. So here's the flight plan. Look at the zero fuel weight, just 42.4 tons. That's because the aircraft is empty. It's just got the crew on board, no bags or anything else. Cruising at 190. Just that's the only amount of fuel we need. Look, just 3.7 tons. That's with an alternate of Barcelona, which was our actual original alternate on the last live stream. So what we'll do, we'll just whack on 4 tons of fuel, which should be sufficient for the flight. I don't anticipate any delays in Palma de Mallorca. That's what I said last time on the last live stream. We ended up diverting, but at least it's no official event. So we'll put on 4 tons of fuel. And what was that zero fuel weight? It was 42.4. So let's just make a note of that so I don't forget. 42.4, and we're going to put 4 tons of fuel on. There we go. So now we can now go to fuel weight balance, and again, it's very excuse me, very important that you do this to make sure that the ZIBO mod behaves correctly as per the operational flight plan. Donation coming in, £1 from Toby MK. Thank you very much. Good day, he says. Thanks for all the streams you do. We learn a lot off you. I was wondering when you could do a stream to Brussels. Well, thank you very much, Toby MK. We could go to Brussels very much at some point. I have a very long list of requested destinations. I've got to go to the US. I've got to go to Samos, Brussels now, and God knows where else. But Brussels is definitely somewhere I'd like to go. We've got all of Europe to visit with the many streams we plan to do in the future. So thank you very much for the donation, and we'll see what we can do very soon. Right, I got all distracted there. So fuel 4 tons, I only got 2.8, so we need to transfer that fuel, and that zero fuel weight was just 42.4, so I need to really lower this payload here. 1 ton apparently is 42.4. Well, imagine that's the weight of all the crew and all the duty-free booze we bought from Ibiza to take to Palma. So that's it. Zero fuel weight, 42.4 tons. Basically an empty aircraft. Right, let's get the fuel loaded as well. Fuel truck, cool. There we are. Here he is. Excellent. He's put it. Oh, fantastic. There appears to be an A380 on top of me that says, I'm not going to repeat his text there, but there's one very easy way to sort that out, because I think there's someone on tower. God damn it. It's only a matter of time before you get someone who seems to spam you. So hopefully the guy on tower will realise there's someone there just taking the mick. Otherwise, I'll just crack on for now. If he's still there, we'll either A, report it, or B, we'll do something else. Oh, my dear. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Dot Wallop, fantastic. I'm glad you're here. You're suspending him now. Fantastic. Well, I'll carry on with my setup. Dot Wallop, actually, he's definitely a VATS controller of some sort, but he's messaged me personally before when I had issues with spammers in the past. Why do people have nothing better to do with this? But what can you do, eh? What can you do? Right, so reference airport is Lima Echo India Bravo, which is in Ibiza. GPS left, we'll put the coordinates in there. And then we're going to go to Palma, which is Lima Echo Papa Alpha.
All traffic's on frequency. Be aware there is a traffic taxing without clearance, and I'm trying to coordinate with supervisor, so hold position, play timing, and call back.
Oh dear, I feel really guilty because, you know, the only reasons he's doing that is because of me, and it ruins it for everyone else, which is a bit of a bummer. But what can I do? What can I do? So yeah, this is the shortest flight plan you'll ever enter. Look at this. The SID in Ibiza terminates at Lampa, and the arrival into Palma is the Lampa 2 Papa. So we're only going via one waypoint, accordingly, via the Sid and Star, which is pretty cool. So that's all in there. We don't need to put anything in the routing today. We just have to go simply to arrivals. We're going to be doing the Lampa 2 Papa arrival, and it will definitely be 24 left, which is the preferred landing way, runway in Palma, and it'll be Zulu, and it's via Mike Juliet Victor, which I did the liberty, I took the liberty of checking prior to this. There we are. So that's all in. Activate, execute. Right. So zero fuel weight, just 42.4 tons. Look, incredibly light. Reserves to get to Barcelona. 1.3 tons plus final reserve of 900 kilos. Crikey. I mean, I know we're light, but I wouldn't want to be That's your last 30 minutes of fuel, but I certainly wouldn't ever want to be flying around calling a mayday with that amount, so I'll probably bump the reserves up slightly. Because we took 4 tons a bit extra, so let's call the final reserve the sum of this to, let's call it 2.3 tons. That way, when we get to 2.3 tons and we divert to Barcelona, you know, we won't be landing with this amount, which is rather low. Cost index is going to be 30. Cruise altitude is this evening just flight level 190, very low. It is obviously such a short sector. Ground distance look just 134 nautical miles. That's executed, and we'll punch in 190 here. Land altitude, I think it's 26 feet or something there, so we'll put in 50. Cruise wind, top of climb. Obviously, even though the sector's pretty short, we still put everything in there, so 263 at 31. And the top of climb ISA is 0. There we are. Temperature, which I'll take off the METAR, is 16 degrees. Now, let's take a look at the Boeing onboard performance tools. So prior to this stream starting, I actually did the proper performance figures for the takeoff here off the Boeing onboard performance tool. So that's for landing, which we'll look at later. So there we are. We have takeoff IB for runway 24 via the Gulf intersection, and the runway's dry, surface wind 2208 knots, 16 degrees, QNH is 1009. Thrust rating's optimum, so it'll choose the most suitable D rate, most likely 22k because it's so light. Flat 5 air conditioning, packs are in auto, anti-ice not required. Look at that, takeoff weight of just 64.4 tons. I think that's what we got in the here, wasn't it? Performance 46.4, and look at that, you can see, look, it's reduced 22k with assumed temperature of 61 degrees Celsius. I don't think you can actually set a higher assumed temperature. Actually, I thought 60 was the highest, but look at that, it's basically as little thrust as you can possibly set, and the V speeds are incredibly low. Look, 118, 118, 123, because the aircraft is empty, so very, very, very low thrust setting for today. So let's select 22k. Will it even let me select 61? No. I've always thought 60 was the lowest entry. No, it wasn't. Maybe I won't put the slash in. Oh no, ZIBO's letting me put 61 there. So I wonder what the lowest assumed selected temperature is. I mean, it's very unusual to set something as low as that, so it's all set anyway. 82.5% for the N1. Why has that not calculated anything? Interesting. Well, let's get the APU and some APU bleed on anyway, because we'll be getting on our way very shortly. For some reason, we have no N1 thrust set for takeoff. I might have to set that manually in the bugs here if it doesn't work, but should we? 82.5. We'll see what happens when we get the APU started. Takeoff flap 5. We'll need to get the thrust set anyway. Oh, look, it won't even let me select the V speeds. I've broke the ZIBO mod because I think I've selected such a low assumed temperature. I've definitely done... Let me just try 60. Yes, I think, look at the ZIBO mod. If I put 60, I get an N1 and the V speeds, but if I select 61, which I didn't even realise you could, it just doesn't generate an N1. There you go. Interesting. Well, let's just go for 60. It's going to be a higher thrust setting anyway. So that's all set. And 87.1 apparently. APU bleed. I'm just going to get some fuel pumps on as well. Usually you have to wait a minute. I'm just going to put the APU bleed on because I just want to see if the M1 changed. 86.1. We've got 82.5, so it looks like with the ZIBO mods figures, when we select a higher assumed temperature, the N1's slightly off. In the real aircraft, if you'd set this, you'd be getting 82.5, but we're getting 86.1. The good news is we'll always take the higher thrust because that means our performance will be better. So for 2 engines anyway, so we'll go with that, and obviously ZIBO will let them know that we're missing some performance data for the higher assumed temperatures there. So that is all set. Flap 5. Let's see if the V-speeds match. They have to be within a knot, which they all are. 118, 118, 123. At least that's looking good. Look at that. We're going to basically... We'll be climbing like a rocket, guys. Honestly, after rotation, we'll be going up so fast. And CG, I don't often set, but 3.78. Yeah, in the desktop sim, I set about that. That'll do nicely. Right, FMC, I think, is all loaded. Up to the upper overhead panel now. Yaw dampers on, fuel pumps on, seatbelt signs could come on because refueling is all done. Cabin secure, window heat is on. Electric hydraulic pumps are on. We'll shut the doors very shortly. Trim air could come on now. Pax auto. Cruise is all set. Steady now for the nav lights. Turn this panel light up as well. Right, so now we need to have a look at the SID. Sorry, I've not been looking at too many comments at the moment because I'm busy setting up. Norbert, have you lowered your bitrate, Captain? I don't even know what bitrate is. Is that? I've not touched any settings in Streamlabs. I think that's the ability to stream lots of detail. But please let me know if anyone's having issues with the video. Stream seems more pixelated than usual. Might just be me though. Alright, well, let me know if anyone else having issues. I might delve in deeper. Right, let's just get all the doors shut. So locked. I hope that's locked close. Oh no, it's because I've got the air stairs closed, that's why. Ground services, air stairs retract. Let's try that again. That's better, thank goodness for that. I wouldn't be able to get out there. Steve, you're having any problems? Stream's okay, all good here. The stream's a bit lower quality. I think people might be having different issues then. But, I've literally not touched anything in Streamlabs, so maybe my partner's watching something on Netflix, I don't know. I don't know if that should affect the upload or not, I have no idea. It sounds like there's other people going perhaps to Palma. That's good that VATSIM's coming alive, that's pretty cool. That's all set anyway. FMC's loaded. Right, let's just have a quick look at the SID. So Avitab, airport, and we've got Ibiza. So as I said, we're on stand 15 here, self-position stand because we don't need a pushback here. So we're going to start the engines, taxi straight out, probably onto the main taxiway here, out via Alpha, and then we'll backtrack. We can actually depart from Golf. Remember on the performance figures we did it from Golf here, but we'll plan to go full length here, and then departure runway 24. The SID is cool. Oh my goodness, all differently orientated here. It's the Lampa 2 Echo, and the runway QDM, it's not 228, it is, I'm looking at my work iPad, it's 242, so it's kind of like an immediate left turn after departure. So I'm just going to set the runway heading and chart to and the course to 242. What we're going to do is tune the ILS to runway 24 as well, which is 109.5. Just gives us some guidance for departure.
737. So, are you able to taxi out?
Yeah, we should be fine. Do you want me to move to a different stand? You're in route to Juliet Charlie.
Oh, someone's having issues. So that's it. Straight ahead 228 then. Slight left turn after departure to India Bravo 610. India Bravo 610, 250 knots or below. We'll be able to easily comply with that. Left turn 169 track to India Bravo 611 for 13.4 miles. Checks as well. Again, 250 knots or below. Molar, and then to Lampa. And then it's straight onto the Star into Palma De Mallorca. So that's pretty good. That's it. Right, so SID's done. We now do the checklist complete. So MCP's set. What was the stop altitude? There we go. Initial ATC clearance climbed to 6,000, so we'll set here. And remember that my operator, we set 6.1 to remind us we don't have the clearance, which we'll get in a second. Flight directors come on, order brake to RTO, reset. And that is all looking good. Right, let's see if the ATIS is coming in now. Still not getting any ATIS, never mind. Right, VHF1 is set. Right, let's get the clearance anyway, and then we'll get on our way to Palma de Mallorca. I'm on stand 15, also. There we are, stand 15, excellent. We'll get rid of the GPU as well. There we are, fantastic. Ibiza Tower, very good evening. Broadsword 01, stand 15, QNH 1009, departure clearance to Palma de Mallorca, please.
Bravo Romeo Oscar 01, Palma Tower, good evening. Clear destination Palma de Mallorca, Lampa 2 Echo departure runway 24, and Squawk 6220.
220. Cleared to Palma de Mallorca on the Lampa 2 Echo runway 24, Squawk 6220, Broadsword 01, and request engine start.
Bravo Romeo Oscar 01, read back correct, and start approved, QNH 1009, information Lima available.
Engine start approved, and we'll take a list to Lima, Broadsword 01. Alright, cool, so Squawk is in, 6220, and starts approved, so we're going to go out off Air conditioning packs to off. Anti-collision light is on. Parking brake is set. Transponder is again to out. Off. Tom's going with a donation. Thank you very much for the 50 Norwegian kroner. Donation to the Radioactive Gate Personnel Foundation. Oh my goodness! I thought I had the weather radar on there for a second, but it looks like we're okay for now, Tom. There's an interesting donation and request, but thank you anyway, Tom, for your continued support nonetheless. Right. Anyway, we've been told that we've been cleared to start engines, so we've been talking to a ground crew operator to make sure we've been cleared to start engines. He's done his walk around, and there we go. So no need to push back, as we don't need to self-position off this stand. Right, there's the N2 rotation N1. Oil pressure is increasing. There we are. There's 25% N2. Let's get some fuel in. LD247, good evening, Captain. How are you doing? Hope you're fine. Link to your livery, is it available? I should have done that before the stream, but I'll ask the chap that made it on Discord if I can redistribute it. It's technically his, but I'm sure he won't mind. Right, starter cut out, monitor engine number 2, 24632 is stable. We can now start engine number 1. Being very dark. Richard won't be able to watch this one live, just popping in to wish you a good flight, buddy. Well, it's a great shame, Richard. This will be a short one to play back whenever you do. Flight time's less than 30 minutes, so come in and watch whenever you want. Have a great evening. Thanks for popping in. Right.
The facing east, long pushback is affirmative, shuttle 66 Tango. ET21 appropriate taxi.
That's looking all good.
EC21 Alpha, Roger, taxi by Gate Bravo, I say again, Gate Bravo, holding point runway 24. Traffic on your right is performing push.
So there is starter cutout, monitoring engine number 1. We've got 2463, starting as an idle tense number. 1 is stable, right, so we've seen the bypass, well there wouldn't have been a bypass pin because we haven't pushed back, but the ground crew showed his headset, he's all clear, and we're good to do the before taxi flow. So generators on, APU off. There's a new member coming in, Daryl McDonald, thank you very much for the membership, and welcome to Flight Sim as a member. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. I hope you enjoy the exclusive members only content as well. Thank you very much for the support there. Right, so that's the flow looking good.
Roger, we are cleared to Palma De Mallorca by Lampa to echo departure. Group 6245, connection 1009.
Full forward, full back, left, centre, right, centre, and the rudders, full left, centre, full right, centre. It's a good job, I always check that because I can actually move my rudder pedals so they don't hit my printer. Let's do the recall, and then we do the before taxi check. The statue is set. Very good. And whenever we are ready, can get in there, we can request taxi.
And we're ready for start up now, 89001.
EC9001, start of approved information.
Thank you very much, new member as well. Max VR, thank you very much for joining as a member. I hope you enjoy the members only content as well. Thank you very much for that. Kim, you're right, it's not a llama, it's an alpaca. Remember what the difference between a llama and a alpaca is? A llama spits at you. Adam Goals, you need to exit your live stream. Have a nice flight, thank you. Bye-bye. Have a nice evening.
Information Lima, copy that, we'll go for taxi, Welling 1 for Alpha.
There we are.
Europe at 82,
I think that aircraft behind us is he pushing?
Ready for engine start.
No, he's not. I'm trying to build a bit of a picture of who's around. We've got aircraft here, aircraft taxiing that way as well. He's going the long way around.
Europe 82 Juliet Charlie.
Shuttle 66 Tango, delay for pushback.
Someone's having an issue with their pushback plugin.
Say again for 66 Tango. Shuttle 66 Tango, pushback was approved 2 minutes ago. Any problem?
That's just what happens in reality, you know. Yeah. In reality, you get a lot of naughty flight crew who request push and start to jump the queue, even though the tug's not attached. So it's a similar issue as well. Broadsword 01 request taxi, and I forgot to set 6,000 feet there.
Bravo Romeo Scar 01, Roger, hold position, traffic, stand 29 is performing pushback, allow pushback in order to clear stand 15, call it back.
Holding position, Broadsword 01. There's North Shuttle taking his time. I'm only kidding, he's coming now anyway. Unfortunately, I've got all the static aircraft as well, but as soon as he's clear, he's requested, I remember him saying he got a long pushback anyway to keep it clear there as well. Very good. Iceman, good evening. I don't know much about this game, so I have to ask, is it a multiplayer game? Well, this is X-Plane 11, like with many popular desktop simulators. You have the ability to go on an online ATC network, and what you see here are other players, essentially, or other simmers, performing real-world flights. So this is an actual person, this is an actual person, and it's all done very realistically. In fact, it's so realistic, it's very much bang on to real-world procedures, which is really, really cool. Aviation Joe, yes, it is pilot plus scenery. I think it was originally designed for X-Plane 10. Robert Cross just looked up in FCOM. The highest assumed temperature allowed is 70 degrees. Interesting. I did not know that. I did not know that. Looks like ZIBO's only modelled it up to 60. And even so, 60 degrees, or whatever the N1 for...
Bravo, Romeo Oscar 01, one clear of traffic, taxi holding point runway 24 by gate Alpha.
Taxi holding point 24 via gate Alpha, broadsword 01. So he's clear. So that's going to be straight ahead, and then a right turn Alpha, and then to hold point runway 24. So there we are. We can release the parking brake, turn off and taxi lights on, do the config check. There we go. No takeoff config warning horn. We can make a left turn because you don't want to ever taxi over any red hatch lines, even though the taxi outline goes there. It's a bit tight. I'd probably hold position in reality, but because of the confines for desktop simulator, we can just cut the corner. I probably wouldn't ask for that in reality.
82 Juliet Charlie.
There we are.
Europa 82 Juliet Charlie, hold position 737 crossing behind. Call you back for taxi.
There we are. So this is a lot more, it's a lot quieter than it was in Liverpool. We've been streaming now for 33 minutes. Last time I think it took us almost an hour and 15 minutes to start taxi. Another new member coming in from Alvaro Garcia. Thank you very much for the membership. Welcome to the channel as a member. I hope you enjoy the members only content. Thank you very much for the support there. Right, so here's gate Alpha ahead. That's all the rich boys. Like, I've been to Ibiza a lot of times in real life, and that's where all the people with more money than sense park. Lots of lovely business jets there in the summer, and they've all come there to party. That's pretty cool. Oh, who said that? Very, very good, Tal. I was just testing you, Tal. Well spotted. I did forget to blank load to you. Very, very good. I've gotten a bad habit of doing that in the sim. It's important to do because if you have an engine failure or an issue with a secondary parameter, it pops up the DU. Now, you probably won't spot it here in the mod, but in the real aircraft at night, you'll definitely notice this screen popping up and turning on.
Hotel Mike Lima Tango, Roger, copy QNH 1009, set squawk 7001.
Right, we can do the before takeoff checklist now. So config checked, flaps 5.5, green light, stab trim set for takeoff, just less than 5 units set. Takeoff briefing, Pax auto bleeds on, the V speeds are set for departure, 118, 118, 123 set, and our SID is going to be the Lampa 2 Echo departure. Make sure you look what you're taxiing. Now, just to butt in there, sorry, look, you can see how light we are. I've only had about 30% N1, but because we're so light, look, we're already up to 25 knots there. But as I said, the initial departure is going to be climbing straight ahead to the first waypoint on Lampa 2 Echo, which is the India Bravo 610. Further left turn, India Bravo 611, then inbound to Molar. Stop climb 6,000 feet, which is set on the MCP. No emergency turn, so any problems will climb straight ahead to the MSA, which is 3,000 feet. That's reviewed. Thank you very much for the new member as well. Positive Rates, who's just joined. Lovely channel username, by the way. Welcome to the channel as a member, and I hope you enjoy the exclusive members only content. Thank you very much for the support. Right, so approaching the whole point.
Request taxi.
He's gone for the Hotel 3 point. Well, we've already passed Golf here, so we actually had the performance for that intersection.
9 Hotel Mike Lima Tango, 1 clear of Airbus 320 easy
take Hotel 3 as well.
Taxi to 4 by gate Alpha, Mike Lima Tango. Mike Lima Tango, 1 clear of traffic Airbus 320 easy jet colors. Roger, 1 clear of traffic, Mike Lima Tango.
I didn't actually hear if anyone else is coming in as
minimums approaching.
to this flight. I think I heard quite a few Ibiza Palma clearances, which is pretty cool. Oh my goodness me, everything's got pretty busy now. First officer Hazza coming in with a quid. Thank you very much for the donation there. Appreciate the support. Aviation Joe coming in £2. He's retracted his message, whatever it was you said. I have no idea, but thank you very much for the donation. Ridgeback 68 is joining as a member as well. Was that for me? Broadsword 01 just confirmed their squawk 6221.
Negative. I was calling North Shuttle 66 Tango on Blake, North Shuttle 66 Tango.
Whoopsie. So yeah, that's what happens if you're busy talking there. Thank you very much, Ridgeback 68, for becoming a member as well. And we've...
On all traffic's position, there is a traffic, well, again, taxing without clearance. Everyone, whole position.
Unbelievable.
50, 40.
How's he doing that though? After they fixed that issue, unbelievable. I'm just going to set the parking brake and just have a look at the chat whilst this guy just messes around. I'm so sorry, guys. Seriously, unbelievable. Who else did I forget completely joining as members and stuff there? Sorry if I missed you out there. It was Tao coming in. 10 Romanian, I think it is freaks for the currency there. Thanks for testing me. Yes, thank you very much for spotting the lower DU. That was very, very impressive. Robert Sinclair joining as a member. Thank you very much for the support there. Oh my goodness me, have I forgotten it? Have I forgotten anyone here? Ridgeback, I think I said thanks to you. Robert Sinclair, thanks as well. Oh Jesus, he's still there. There's no point looking up. What else have I got to say? Who else have I got to say thanks to? I think who else have I missed? But thank you very much to anyone that just joined as a member or has donated, because I'm busy trying to chat to this guy on ATC and try and sort this guy missing out and trying to say thanks to everyone. Unbelievable! Can't believe that some people have the time just to mess around with these streams and stuff. Oh look, it's always the A380. Was that the same guy though that was causing all the issues before? Because there was a guy he was targeting loads of people previously on VATSIM, and he seemed to kind of went all quiet and stuff. And because I'm using a different client now, I just thought it would have fixed the issue. But these things can happen. Cherries, yes, it was the same guy. Great, unbelievable. Oh, is Pilot Mike here in the chat? Sorry, if anyone's new to the stream as well, Pilot Mike, he's a very good friend of mine. I've known him most of my life. We went to school together, secondary school. He's a 787 first officer. He helps run my Discord, helps answer a lot of the queries and stuff that people come up with. And yeah, he's a good friend of mine, so if you've got any questions, he'll help answer them during the stream. I'm guessing he's having quite a quiet evening, yeah. Oh my goodness me. How can they just deal with this guy? I have no idea. I mean, if there was no ATC, I'd just log off straight away. Boom, done. Happy days, you know. But because we're actually online, there's no point, you know. I've got ATC hopefully trying to fix the issue, so it's only because I'm streaming that he's doing this. By like very quiet evening. Yeah, got nothing else to do except to jump into the stream. Oh dear. I mean, if I log off...
People that shouldn't be on VATSIM.
Yeah, I know. Jesus Christ. I mean, one thing that will fix it is me logging off, which will make it better for everyone else, but, you know, I don't want to have to do that. It's just a real pain. Real pain. Rigger M, message the controller, maybe. I have done, and...
all traffic's, that traffic is gone.
Okay, good.
Break, Bravo Romeo Oscar 01, you're number 1, are you ready for departure?
Fully ready for departure, Broadsword 01. Yeah, I think it's because I'm streaming, it's probably why I came on. Sorry about that.
Bravo Romeo Oscar 01, wind 220 degrees, 10 knots, runway 24, clear for takeoff.
Runway 24, cleared takeoff, Broadsword 01. Unbelievable. Right, anyway, lights are on, strobes are on. Weather radar is on, transponders set to TARA. So
Approaching 2-4.
MCP is set, transponder is set to TARA, strobe lights are on, landing lights are on. We have been cleared takeoff. Complete. Positive rates coming in for another donation for £1. Thank you very much for the donation,
30.
and I'm glad you're enjoying the content. I appreciate the little tidbits. Right, there we are. So let's start the timer.
On runway
You can tell
2-4.
I've not flown for a few days. Look, my lineup was atrocious. Right, let's stand the thrust up to 40%. I'll line up with the lights, which are not on the centre line. We'll fix it there. Right, so looking for 40% N1. There we are. Engines are stabilised. EGT looks good. Push target set. Takeoff thrust. So very short takeoff roll today. Incredibly light. So 86.1 takeoff thrust set. Indications normal. Here comes 80 knots.
80 knots.
And that's checked. V1, rotate, hand off the thrust lever, and there we are. We're already airborne because we're so light. Positive rate of climb, gear up onto the flight directors. If they do command above 20 degrees, just hold that attitude below 20 degrees and let the aircraft accelerate, but we're okay today. Verify the roll mode, which is LNAV.
1000.
And we can now bug up. And just slowly pitch down onto the flight directors. There's the left turn commanded. And trim nose down. There's V2 plus 15. We can select flap 1. Look how quickly it's accelerating. Flaps up. Even though we've got reduced thrust, we'd actually have a lot less N1 in reality.
Bravo, Romeo Sky 01, Unicom 122.8, no further ATC. Bye-bye, good evening.
122.8 broadsword 0 on. Thanks a lot for the service. Que tenga buen día. I think he's Spanish.
Gracias, adios.
Perfect. We was. There we are. So look at that, climbing at 4,000 feet per minute. So let's get command in. Flaps up, no light. So VNAV. There's no ATC here. So now let's select our final cruise level, which is 190, which is set. Can now set standard. You can already see. Look, our up speed today is just 187 knots or so. So standard set, passing 43, flight level 190 after takeoff checklist coming up. Just get Unicom up here. There we are, so after takeoff checklist. Let's go to auto or off position, just turn these off as well. Gear to up and off. And auto brake to off. So air conditioning and pressurization. We've got diff pressure 2.8 climbing. Auto switches are in the correct position. That's all set. Gears up and off. Auto brakes off. Start switches are off. Verify. We've got standard set passing 6.5 for flight level 190. There we are. The after takeoff checklist is complete. On the left turn on this RNAV SID.
50. 40.
So this RNAV waypoint called India Bravo 611. Right, got a couple of donations coming in. First one from David B. Fiver. Thank you very much for that, David. I hope this flight is better stocked to a gin, or I may have to write a stiff letter to my MP. I don't want to be an MP at the moment with the election around the corner. God, it's not a good time to be a UK politician. Thank you very much, David B, for the donation. We're fully stocked with gin. We just had a pretty few wild nights in Ibiza, and we're ready, obviously, to take the aircraft back to Palma. Thanks a lot for the donation there. I've also got a Volprick coming in with 50 DKK. Again, I forget the currency. Have a safe flight, please. My name is Volbridge. Not Volbury, like you said last time. Oh, well, last time you donated. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name there, my friend. Also, thanks for the dedication and tutorials. Well, that's most kind for the donation there. Thank you very much. Right, look at that. We're already whizzing past flight level 100. Look at us go up at this rate here. Let's do the post-cruise or pre-cruise check. Fuel 4 pumps. Lights can now come off. APU's off. Oh, pressurization is climbing quickly. 5.0 set. Recall. There's no passengers on board today, so we'll just leave the fasten seatbelt sign there. And there we are. The checks are complete. Message coming in on VATSIM. Hello, Flight Edge Sim. Just wanted to say, love the streams, and I'm really sorry you keep getting targeted by trolls. Keep up the good work. Oh, no problem at all. Echo Juliet Uniform 101. It's just, I think that happens to all streamers, really. They've got nothing better to do than to try and show their aircraft on VATSIM streaming and causing disruption. But these things happen, and yeah, I just kind of crack on with it, and I'm glad we had ATC, to be fair, so he could fix it. But if there was no ATC, I'd just log off the network. Done, easy. So these things do happen, unfortunately. So there we are. Already up to flight level 190. Very high rate of climb. Don't be too put off by this. This, again, when you're light, can happen. I remember positioning an aircraft from somewhere in Scotland to somewhere in the UK. I'm not going to go into much more details about the two airports without giving away my operator. And we got from the ground to our cruise level, which was 37,000 feet. We got there in 10 minutes. We went pretty much full 24k, and we were climbing 5,500 feet per minute all the way. It just happens when you're incredibly light. So vertical speeds. This is why, again, Explain 11, the ZIBO mod's great. You put the actual weights in there, and the aircraft flies like it does weigh 42 tons. I was testing this earlier, flying the aircraft empty, and the pitch power I was setting, and the way the aircraft behaved was just like it does in slow flight at a very light weight as well. I've positioned a couple of aircraft this year, and I used to do a lot of the base training in the simulator, where the aircraft is obviously simulated to be quite light, and it does behave a little bit. It likes to float, put it this way. The airplane doesn't want to go on the ground when you land there. Outhold. It still goes to outhold way too early, just the FMA enunciation. We should still be in out acquire now, and then only outhold engaging within 20 feet on the FMA, that is. Reaching 190. There we are. We are now level, and we've got 42 miles till top of descent on this positioning flight to Palma De Mallorca there. So it's really, really quick. Kieran, you've let it slip many times. Of course I have, but you might be quite obvious who I work for, but I try my very hardest not to let it slip. Right, so another thing, why are we not flying 281 knots? Oh, there we go. VNAV. Oh. Well, VNAV, we should be doing 281 knots now, but it's only flying 250. Have we got a speed limit on the SID? No. Lampa 281. We had speed restrictions before, but I have no idea if the aircraft complied with them. We had 250 knots at Molar, which we've just passed, so the aircraft should now accelerate to 281 knots, but it should be. We're correctly doing 250 now. Max 250, but now why is it not accelerating to 281? Cruise 281, legs page 281 knots at Lampa, but we're doing 250 and VNAV's engaged. No idea. More stuff to fix later, or ZIBO can fix. I have no idea how to do that sort of stuff, but otherwise all behaving as it should do. Right, let's ditch all these charts and let's get in Palma De Mallorca. Arrival, same as the SID, starting at Lampa, but we're now doing a Lampa to Papa arrival. So go here, and we've got Lampa to Papa. I'm then going to do ILS Zulu 24 left. No, I selected arrivals, didn't I? Approach. There we are, ILS Zulu 24 left. Airport. So many charts here. They're doing a lot of construction work here as well, so there's a lot of temporary charts as well, which is pretty cool. There is a 250 knots of blow at the waypoint after. Yes, but that's a few miles away. We should be doing this 281 and then slow down to 250 accordingly on the star, but shouldn't have that issue at the moment. Airport and then parking stands. There we are. Another donation coming in. That is from Studio V21, thank you very much, £4.29. Hi, Flight Data Sim, thanks for another entertaining stream. Would you have to wear your pilot uniform for flights without passengers? And if the answer is no, would you do so? Anyway, we do have to wear uniform whenever it works, even if we're positioning an aircraft or something like that. Two reasons, really. One, so everyone around the airport knows who you are. It actually raised a lot of suspicion if you had two civilian people walking up to an empty aircraft with security. Secondly, a lot of airports that require you, we have two forms of ID. I have my airport ID and a company ID, and some airports, if you have the company ID, require you to be in uniform, so that's another reason why you'd wear it there. But yes, I've never gone to work wearing civilian clothes, put it that way. Right, so here we are, roving in at Lampa, 6,000 feet or above here, Papa Alpha 600 via Mike Juliet Victor, which takes us just to the south downwind of Palma de Mallorca, and then we're doing this transition via Mallorca, stepping down to 3,000, 2,500. It's a 16 DME arc via Obumu onto the ILS, so you can see it's pretty much all in there. Plan, you can step through it very quickly just to make sure that the points pictorially look correct, but whilst we're briefing the other pilot, in reality you'd be checking the track and distances match there, but you can see pictorially it looks like the arrival we need. Runway 24 left, let's go to the FMC fix page and put our fix rings in. So I won't bother with a 3 times height ring for top descent because we are quite low. 10 miles for flap 1, 4 miles for gear down, flap 15. And the ILS then, what I might do is a localizer approach. Last time we tried to do a localizer approach was in the IXG 737-300 using vertical speeds, and the aircraft nearly crashed. So I don't think I've ever demonstrated a localizer approach. So if you'd like me to, I'll do a localizer approach only into Palma de Mallorca. Something different, so we'll use VNAV. So that's courses of 238, 238. ILS is 109.3. 109.3. So for localizer you still need to tune the applicable ILS frequency, so you can use the localizer there, but we'll ignore the glide slope information and use VNAV. Final approach track is 238, which I've set already, and the minimums for the localizer only approach. Does that have separate charts on Jeppesen? On our charts we have the ILS and localizer combined, but that is all for ILS there. I might have to look at a separate chart. No, I don't need to scroll, do I? Approach. There we go. Localizer 24 left. Let's do this approach. Close this. It's a shame that you can't drag that there. But anyway, here's the localizer approach. It's exactly the same arrival via Mallorca. Just make sure we haven't actually got to select anything different in the FMC. Usually you use the ILS approach as an overlay. Oh no, they have got a localizer. No, so we'll definitely select localizer legs. There we are. So it's very important to check. Yeah, some airports, not many. Well, that's actually me disconnecting the autopilot by moving the trim wheel instead of a donation going in. So yeah, it's very important actually to for certain airports to make sure that they actually have a localizer. They might actually have a separate localizer approach to select in the FMC. Not many do because it just uses the ILS as an overlay, but it's all looking good. 6.1 DME IPOW. Well, that was a hard altitude of 2000. Reset MCP, already coming to top of descent, look. Why is that saying 3,688 at Obumu? Oh no, the aircraft has now decided to accelerate to 281 knots. I've accidentally just screwed something up here as well. Obumu is 2,500 feet or above. 2,500 feet or above. There we are. And it's Foxtrot India 24 left. I want to change to 2,000 hard. Because that is... so I'm just gibbering on to myself here, guys. Sorry, but I will explain why I'm doing this here. So Foxtrot India 24 left is 6.1 DME. So this is the final approach 6. Just want to do a kind of like a gross error check here. 6.1 / 6.1. I'm just getting myself high as well on purpose. There we go. Yeah, it is definitely hard at 2,000 there. Just doing a gross error check for the FAF. Right, let's just get the aircraft descending now anyway. Past top of descent already. So let's select level change. And have we got any speed limits here? 250 knots or below very shortly. So we're going to go 250. And we'll imagine we've been cleared down to flight level 80. Oh, I've got a RA, which is probably our friend, isn't it? Oh my goodness. If it is, I'm just going to go straight off the network, guys. Speed brakes out. It is here. Jeez. Guys, excuse me, I'm just going to log off. And it's the easiest way of dealing with it. What? There we go. I've disconnected off Fatsu, guys. Sorry about that, but it's the same guy just continuously trolling. I need to talk to someone to see if we can get that sorted. But I'd like to know if he's causing issues in other people's streams as well, so it's a bit of a pain.
50, 40,
The donation coming in, that's Jan Willie Hansen's come in with £5.09. Thank you very much for the donation, Jan Willie Hansen. Again, donating, or often coming in with a generous donation, so thank you very much indeed for that. Right, so we're a little bit high, no problem. We're just going to maintain 250 knots with speed brake. That's to comply with the speed restriction here at, was it max 2? Oh no, that's for the Lamper to Papa, 250 max, 230 for the hold. So comply with that restriction, profile's coming back in, and let's just have again a look at the Localizer Approach for runway 24 left. The minimums are 880, which is an MDA, that checks. We're going to add 40 feet to that, so if we're not visual, we have to go around, we don't actually get below the MDA, so we're going to set 920 as the minimum, so it's a little bit higher than the ILS, but that's because we don't have any accurate guidance regarding the vertical profile. So non-precision approach then, localizer approach. We're still going to use Vorlock for the localizer, but we're going to use VNAV for the vertical profile there to descend down, and we'll monitor that. We're doing some altitude distance cross checks which are here on the chart. So it's 6 DME, which is just after the FAF at 6.1, and we need to be at about 90 feet or 2,000 feet, which is the issue there. Right, anyway, looking good. Seatbelt side is already on. We never took it off, but we're only simulating the aircraft being empty here. Oh, Monkey Lips is in the chat. Monkey Lips, for anyone that'd like to know, is a very, very good friend of mine. He's a 737 captain. I've known him for many years. He's obviously very bored tonight, and he's come in to say hello in the stream. So if you have any more questions, we've got two captains, myself, Monkey Lips, and Pilot Mike in the chat as well. So you're quite quite lucky tonight to ask any questions if you want. I was just not monitoring my profile correctly, so I'll drop below it. So I've just selected VNAV. We're going to do 1,000 feet per minute now until we've captured the profile. 53 miles, so 510. We should be around 15,000 feet, but that's only showing us 800 feet low. So VNAV, I think, could be throwing a slight wobbly this evening. So yeah, that's it. Localized approach. It's the same as ILS, except we follow a kind of like a virtual glide path in the form of something coded in the FMC and using VNAV essentially there. Monkey Lips says nothing on telly tonight. There you go. Mohammed, you don't really see three pilots in one stream every day. No, and not ones of that kind of level of experience. Actually, Monkey Lips and I won't say his real name, but we have discussed perhaps building a sim together, which would be quite cool. You know, getting a little bit of area, building a home cockpit, and perhaps we could stream something from there. But it's all early days at the moment. I've just got my transfer to my home base, so I'm just enjoying my time off from flying at the moment. But we might do something in the near future. Nicholas Krishina, hello Flydeck Sim. Did it take a long time to get your first job after completion of training? It's been 3 months for me, and after 20 plus applications, still no good news. Well, Nicholas, keep your chin up. I had to wait about 3 months for my interview, and then another 4 months to start. I started in 2000, and I always forget this. I've just finished 8 years, so 2011 was my kind of first year at the end of the year. So when I applied, there wasn't much going on. I had to wait a while. Keep your chin up. It's a bit in Europe at the moment, a bit saturated because, you know, a lot of airlines going bust, and a lot of the low-cost carriers kind of overcrewed at the moment, but there'll be something somewhere. But just be prepared to perhaps go a little bit further afield. You know, I was willing to go anywhere in the world for that first job, but keep your chin up there. Steve Mayer, oh, I bet the other half will love that. We've discussed it already. She doesn't seem to mind too much. Gets me at the house, doesn't it? There you go, look, Monkey Lakes took him a year to get his first job. Budget sim, I build low-cost bits and bobs. I could guess with your channel name. Right, there's passing Flight level 180, let's do the post-cruise check. So fuel for pumps, lights on board, pop the logo on, AP's off, pressurization is set, seatbelts on, the recall. There we are, the post-cruise check's complete. Fuel-wise, we've got just shy of 3 tons on board. Remember the alternate fuel, I think we said was going to be 2.2 to go to Barcelona. So you can see here, reserve 2.3, sorry, which is quite a lower amount, but remember we are incredibly light, so it would be an issue getting there. But now we're off of that sim, of course, you know, it shouldn't have any issues with ATC, which is a great shame about that. My goodness. Bart, awesome. What version of the ZIBO mod are you on? I don't know if it's public yet. It's one we've just been testing today. Well, I haven't got around to it. It's 3.385 alpha. If I do this, hopefully Nightbot will give you all the information. There you are. Nathan Westhead, can someone link the Discord? The Discord is exclusively for members of the channel only. There is only one way to get in, and that is if you are a member, and it's completely automated, so there's no kind of automatic invites to go out. It just automatically synchronizes with YouTube membership and invites you then. Right, anyway, we can now select the altitude, the next clearing altitude on the arrival. We can go down to 3,000 feet, and that's to be 11 DME from Mike Juliet Victor. Obviously, we don't need to have it tuned, because on a modern aircraft like the NG, well, I say modern, we're using RNAV procedures and the FMC, so we don't need to back that up. But we can now descend to 3,000 feet, which is set on the MCP. And now we've gone offline, I'll have to confirm the QNH in Palma, which is 1009. So that is now set. And on the standby altimeter, passing 7,800, 3,000 feet, and the standby altimeter is set. So let's have a look at the mod. Just past 8,000, so we should be about 24 miles away. We're 29, so it looks like the VNAV profile has really shallowed off, and we've got a very early decel here. We want to be at 2,000 feet hard at that altitude there, and it's planning to be at 208 knots by the interception point. Okay, well, we'll keep an eye on that there. The speed's, oh goodness, the speed's pretty good. It's holding the speed quite nicely. I might have to add a little bit of thrust in a second just to make sure we maintain our target speed of 240 knots, but we're otherwise doing okay. My goodness, I forgot to show you the landing performance. It was such a short flight, really. Right. Here is the landing performance element of the onboard performance tool. So you can see here en route information. I put this in prior to the stream. So Palma De Mallorca, runway 24 left. Missed approach climb gradient is the standard 2.5% dry. I put the wind was variable at the 3 knots, so I put a minus 3 knots for take the worst case for tailwind. Temperature 11 degrees. QNH is set flat 30. Air conditioning auto, anti-ice off. We'll look at all the auto brake settings, non-normal checklist, so you'd have different landing performance figures if you had a technical issue. Automatic speed brake based on idle reverse thrust. And because we're so light, look at, we can take a pick of the bunch here. What auto brake setting, doesn't matter what we select, we'll be able to land on the runway length available, which is 3,000 meters. So if we quickly have a look at the runway here, runway 24 left, we'd have a look at the landing distance available, which I think is on, oh, it's on a separate chart. I don't know where it is, but you confirm the distance beyond the threshold here. We're going to aim for Sierra 1 here, which is around, I'd say it's half the length of the runway, maybe a bit more, so about 1,700 meters, maybe 1,800 meters at a conservative best. No, maybe less, maybe about 1,600 meters there. But it is high speed. Just before I say it, I'll just say thanks to the member before I just check this. What is it? Aviation charts. Let's have a look. You can see the auto brake 1, 2,100. Auto brake 2, about 1,820. Yeah, auto brake 3. I mean, I'd be confident to go auto brake 2 and then brake manually, because I've tried the ZIBO mod before, and I think the auto brakes at very light weights do overcompensate a bit there. So fuel burning 200 kilos. Oh, this is not the correct time to be doing this now on the approach. 45.1. Look at that, 122 knots VREF. Very, very slow here. So actually, the mod's behaving quite well at the moment. So we're on a good position. I'd say we're actually turning here 5,400, probably a little bit high. I don't know what VNAV's doing here. 15, 30, 45. I'd say we're a tad high. I'm just going to keep an eye on the profile here. Okay, we're going to actually select flap 1 now and open the speed window so we stay in VNAV path. Because we do want to stay on the path the whole way down, because we're going to be flying a localizer approach. And what we'll do, we'll get... we'll go idle reverse as well for landing. There's the localizer. So, DME distance starting at 6 miles at 2,000. All looking good. So next altitude we can step down to is 2,500 feet, so we can actually set that on the MCP. We'll imagine being cleared approach. Just going to go flap 5, match the speed. So I'm not sure what VNAV's doing here. I think we're a little bit high. I've not done anything stupid with the coding here. No, 2,000 feet. Hard. We double checked that. But it's put us very high because I didn't know I'm very high as well. Look at the glide slope. It's way down there. What in the world is VNAV doing? Well, it's bringing the speed right back. Here comes the VNAV path anyway. It's going to start us descending now anyway. And we're already at a nice speed and configuration. So flat 5. We can let the aircraft accelerate up to around 180-ish knots or so if the profile starts going steep. But we're pretty high here. There's no height checks until we get a little bit closer. So we'll keep a look at this on the way in. Thank you very much for the donate. Oh, crikey, I've got 2 donations. £1.6 coming in from Sim Pilot Adam T. Thank you very much again for your continued support and donation. I've got an absolutely whopping donation coming in from Sleepy Lad. Sleepy Lad, 50 Canadian dollars. Christ, mate, that's crazy. No, I'm not dead. Congrats on your base transfer. Great news. This is a down payment for the 2-seat Sim with Monkey Lips. See you back on Discord soon. Oh my goodness, thank you very much for the donation. That's very, very generous, Sleepy Lab. That's insane, man. Thank you very much for that. That's very, very generous. Did I have a new member come in? Yeah, ATC Pro Tips and Tricks. I didn't even say thank you to you. Thank you very much for becoming a member here. And also, I've got another donation coming in. I think I've missed that. But guys, I'm getting seriously high here. Sorry to get distracted. Why are we not descending? Oh, look at oh my goodness me. Right. Well, now we're at 900 feet high on approach, so I can show you a neat little trick we can do in reality. We'll arm forelock, but we must wait until we're established on the localizer for this trick. This is a bit of a mess. I don't know what happened to VNAV there. It threw a right wobbly. Now getting terrain cautions for some reason. I have no idea why. We shouldn't be getting that. Right, so we can go level change here. We can bug 180, and we can actually set the altitude MCP. Now we're established on the localizer. We can step that down to 2,000 feet, but we need to keep the aircraft going down. I need speed brake and flap 10 here as well. And I don't know what happened to VNAV there. For an absolute wobbly there. Right, approaching descent. We kind of want to be established now, but why are we getting terrain cautions? And now, oh my goodness me, there's something wrong with the mod here. So 1,000 feet, VNAV path, speed into vent. We're back on profile. I'm getting terrain cautions. A terrain caution like we're getting here, it isn't a terrain escape maneuver, but you need to maneuver the aircraft to ensure that you stop the spurious warning. A terrain caution, I've never had a terrain caution in my whole career. Someone told me that it has gone extremely sensitive ever since the terrain ND was updated by Dr. Gluck and stuff. Right, anyway, we're established on the localizer. I don't know why it threw a wobbly there, VNAV, but we are now on it. We can continue till about 4 miles. Let's do an altitude distance cross check. Look at 5 DME. We need to be at 1670. 5 DME. Boom, 1670. We're bang on the vertical profile. This is how you fly a localizer approach in real life, guys. Approaching 4 miles now, so we can go gear down, flap 15, match speed, landing checklist of flaps. Start switches are in continuous, recall is checked, speed brake. Oh dear, I just did a very big Norsey. Don't have the speed brake out and put flap 15. That would require me to write a report. Speed brake R green light, landing gear down 3 green, auto brake is set to 2, holding on the landing flap. That's going to be flap 30, match speeds. Approaching minimum, so we can set the missed approach altitude, approaching 1,000 feet above AGL, which I didn't brief either. Climb, left turn, 193 radial from Jer, follow, radial 193 from Jer, climb to 3,000, so 3,000 feet we can now set. Very important on a non-precision approach to set that, otherwise the aircraft will level off like it's doing now. Why is it leveling off? Disconnected, guys, I'm throwing it out the window. Thank you very much for the donation. I'll say thanks in a second. Now, because the aircraft's leveled off with the flight directors, I'm going to recycle the flight directors here. Put them back on. I've got terrain cautions going off for no reason whatsoever. That is what is going on here. Right, pull up. I've got to, no, right, guys. This would require a
Approaching.
mandatory
2, 4 left.
terrain escape maneuver if you've got a terrain train pull up oral. That is very serious. That's like if you're flying towards a mountain. But we're established on the approach with a sensible rate of descent, so I have no idea why we're getting terrain warnings. Right. Flaps, we've got 30 green lights are on, checklist complete. What a busy approach this is. Tad high, 3 wides. Let's set around 1,000 feet per minute. Nothing too crazy. Speed's a bit high. Now, as I was saying earlier, the aircraft is incredibly light. You can already see, look at my N1. Typically, you'd have around 57% N1 for a 62-ish ton aircraft with 150 passengers on, but I'm having to maintain around 48-50% just to keep the speed up here. The aircraft really will struggle to land as well. It really wants to keep flying, but there's part of flying an aircraft that's empty. Right, let's see if we can butter it. We've got plenty of runway in. Let's see what we can do.
40, 30,
Check, close. Oh, it's going to be firm. Oh, I'm floating. Oh no, what have I done? Keep. Oh, 121. Ballooned a bit there. Right, speed brakes up, reverses, idle reverse. There's 100 knots already. Oh, I thought that was going to be smashed down. Good, but early flare. Manual braking. Auto brake setting was a little bit sensitive. I think I could have gone for auto brake 1 there. Butter, there you go, look, confirmed. Very, very good. Oh dear, Juliet Papafly, I think you forgot to arm approach mode. That's I knew about that. That's because we were flying a localizer approach only, so we're using VNAV there. But VNAV did throw a little bit of a wobbly at around 8-9 miles. It was showing me on profile, then all of a sudden it showed me 1,000 feet high. Now the trick I was trying to show you is actually only technically available on an ILS. You wait until you're established on the localizer, and then you wind down a lower altitude. I think at elevation plus 1,000 feet, and then you can use level change to get back onto profile. Right, anyway, welcome to Palma de Mallorca. The reason I wanted to do this stream was because I spent about 20 quid on the scenery, and it would have been a great shame to not actually see the airport. So here we are. We're going to make a taxiway here on link 6. This is because this is where we always park here in Palma de Mallorca. I actually know this place like the back of my hands. I think I've flown here over 70 times or something, which is pretty cool. Right, we'll tidy up the MCP. That was a good recovery, actually. I thought I was going to absolutely smash it down. I had to check a little bit aggressively, but we did get it in. There was a little bit of a balloon. My goodness. That was a busy flight, a super short flight, but I'm really annoyed about that guy that started crashing the sim because it was a bit of a distraction, and then because I decided to do a localizer approach during descent, I had to get all that stuff briefed and explained anyway. Right, let's get rid of the applicable charts. I'll explain where we are. We're currently here on link 6. We're going to make a left turn in here via Foxtrot, and my operator, we typically park on the northern stands here, stand 20 and stuff, which would be pretty cool. Yeah, again, thank you so much, Sleepy Lad, for that donation. That was incredibly generous. Like, you know, especially as a member, you don't need to do such things, but thank you nonetheless. That will go towards the first bits of electronics for the sim, I'm sure. God Atom, is it safe? Has anyone people died? I've no idea. Oh dear. Right, anyway, we'll go in via Foxtrot for link 2. We can shut down engine number 2 now. We're very, very light today. It's just a great shame that we had to go offline on VATSIM. I don't think there was any tower here anyway, so it wouldn't have made much difference, to be fair. Let's get the APU up and running. Yeah, the mod handled really well. Empty. When the aircraft's light like that, the kind of inputs I was making, the aircraft was reacting accordingly, which was quite good. But I'm guessing there's an issue with how the localizer approach is coded in the FMC in the sim. Because VNAV showed us on profile, we knew we were high. You could see the glide slope was showing us as 2 knots high. And all of a sudden VNAV went bloop, dropped 1,000 feet, and the aircraft obviously, it's like dangling a carrot in front of a donkey with VNAV path. It just chases that path profile. So I'm not sure what caused that. Unless there was a restriction that left us high, I missed, but I'm pretty sure there were no restrictions in there. So hyperactivity here in Palma. They obviously heard that we were landing. It's so cool, this immersion they had. But yeah, this scenery, it's just sim, I think. It's quite new actually, it only came out a few months ago. But I think on the next stream, which I'm hoping perhaps to do on Saturday, early days yet, I'm not 100% sure, we'll leave Palma de Mallorca and I think we'll go to Malta because there is a VATSIM event there. But undecided whether I can do that straight away. Right, we'll take the next left anyway. We'll get ourselves an air bridge this evening. Here's stand 20. Let's take stand 20. There we are. So hopefully we'll have some guidance come on as we approach the stand, and we'll get the jet bridge connected as well. Oh crikey, any good eyesight to see that. Yeah, it says Boeing 738, that's excellent. Oh, can we get a little bit hot? Like the baggage loader as well. Oh, stop, too far. Oh dear, that came on very quick. Right, anyway, we've got 2 blues, 1 red. Engine's dead. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Palma de Mallorca. What's the local time here? It's coming up to 20 minutes past 11 at night. It's a refreshing 15 degrees Celsius here this evening here. Fantastic. I enjoyed that flight, albeit we got spammed a few times. But yeah, we'll end the project fly here. Just going up to project fly, end the flight, complete flights. We'll take a look at some replays as well. There we are. Fantastic. We're getting the air bridge attached. Oh no, I think that's because I've got to turn the anti-collision light off, isn't it? How do you get the air bridge to come across? Oh dear. Well, obviously they've all gone home, but we'll have to use the air stairs to get off there. Fantastic. Anyway, right, let's have a look at some replays as well. But firstly, look at the comments as well. Thierry, at least on the ground with avionics failure. Yes, we've got some no butter emoticons in there. Brace came from silent Sim pilot Adam T as well. Landing rate was okay, but it was a bit of a rescue. We'll have a look at that anyway there. Cessna 5335, I missed your donation. Sorry about that. Your channel has helped me through your CAA exam, so I'm very glad to hear that. Thank you very much for the donation as well. Guys, I feel like I missed quite a few donations and perhaps members as well. So sorry if you donated or became a member and I missed that because it was such a short flight, incredibly busy. I might have missed a few things there. Right, anyway, let's cue the replay and cue the end music. Let's have a look at that flight. Well, let's have a look at that landing anyway, because it was pretty buttery, although it was about half a second from being an absolute stonker. I think I was about to smash it down at one point. Right, we don't want slow motion really, do we? Right, let's have a look from that view initially. Although it's night time again, very hard to see. Oh, look, I ballooned it slightly. That wasn't too bad actually. I've done worse, that's for sure. Right, let's have a look here. Another donation coming in from Gooseboy, £1.99. Thank you very much. What PC do you use? Good stream also, mate. If you put exclamation mark PC, all the specs will come up live for you to see. But thank you very much for the donation there. Oh, it's too dark to see, but I did balloon it slightly. Look. Oh, there we are. I think we need to look at one more actually. Try and get it actually bang on the touchdown point here. It's about there. I thought I was going to smash it down. Oh, it wasn't too bad. I think it was at 130 or something. There we are. Very, very nice. Fantastic. Right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming in on this very short flight and short live stream. And sorry about the problems earlier. Well, I can't really apologise on his behalf, but that was a very annoying idiot who decided to come and try and ruin the stream on VATSIM. But these things do occasionally happen. But thanks for staying put and enjoying the flight nonetheless. I'll try and find out why ZIBO had issues on that approach of VNAV path. I'll fly that approach again offline and see why. Might be something I did there. We'll get that issue fixed as soon as possible. Guys, enjoy. Well, no, not quite at the weekend. It's Thursday, so enjoy your last day at the week. And might be streaming on Saturday afternoon. I'll let you know on the channel. You'll see a video there. But if you're so interested, I will be publishing a tutorial tomorrow, the Rapid Depressurization Emergency Descent tutorial, which will be coming in at 6 PM local time tomorrow. Guys, have a great evening, and I'll see you all again very soon. Good night from me.